We all want to be liked, and the need for approval resides deep within us, but the truth is that it's much easier to make someone dislike you than to be liked. As human beings, we're good at judging others fast. It's part of our DNA, so it's just a matter of seconds for your behavior to determine if someone wants to spend time with you. Stay till the end to know some behaviors that instantly make people dislike you. Number 1. Bragging. While it may seem nice sometimes to brag about some of your wonderful achievements to others, it may be why some will hate you. There's a time and a place for everything, and bragging can be a huge turn-off when used at the wrong place, time, or situation. Talking too much about yourself and your achievement can depict self-centeredness and create a sense of superiority that drives others away. Also, you may turn others off through humble bragging. This is another behavioral act that means self-criticizing a positive attribute about yourself. For instance, if you tell someone that you care too much about a project you're doing and because of that you're giving your group member a difficult time getting along with you, it means you're boasting about your great work ethic but putting it under a veil of self-deprecation. Someone who understands this may, in turn, dislike you instantly. Also, in a college research project, students were asked to write down and answer a question about their major weaknesses in a job interview. The results showed that more than 3/4 of the participants bragged about perfectionism or working too hard. However, the researchers only picked those who were honest and found them more likable. Number 2. You think only of yourself. It's always about you. You hardly render help to others because of your selfish interest. Also, you always behave as if you know it all. Did you go to the best university? We know that. Are you the Einstein of our generation? It isn't a big deal. Knowing it all isn't something good. You're bringing others down and people won't like it. Even if you know the answers to all things or want to correct people, let it go, because no one wants to be made to feel dumb. Be a little humble and modest with your thoughts. It's true that sometimes being who you are will turn others away from you. In many cases, certain people have different personalities. Yours is to ensure you align yours with theirs. Number 3. Getting too personal right away. As social beings, we rely on each other for support, and the closer we are to people, the more we're willing to let them know more about us. Timing is one of the most important things here. For instance, telling your best friend of 10 years something secret about yourself is different from someone you just met 10 minutes ago. Doing this can be annoying and make that person judge you in a way that your friend of years won't dare do. The rule is to let someone know you well first and understand your personality before telling him all your secrets. A 2013 research at Illinois State University led by Susan Sprecher suggests that instead, simply sharing details about your hobbies and favorite childhood memories can make you seem comfortable and more likable. Number 4. Acting too nice. It makes rational sense that the nicer and more selfless you seem, the more people will like you. But in reality, people usually get uncomfortable around these overly nice people. One of the main reasons is that they tend to be fake. Acting harmless or as if you don't have any violent or angry impulses is fake. You should be aware of anybody who claims to be a saint and never gets angry. Also, it would help if you were careful of ultra-nice people because they won't correct or advise you over a mistake because they think it'll hurt your feelings. They'll prefer a beautiful lie to an ugly truth. For instance, if you ask your girlfriend whether she still loves you, her response will be positive, even though that she knows she doesn't. She's so nice that she doesn't want to hurt your feelings and break your heart, but you'll stay together while she's unhappy about the situation and keeps faking it. Meanwhile, you're getting invested in a relationship that's already failed. Be wary of overly nice people because they'll only tell you what you want to hear, and it can be very dangerous. Such people tend to be scammers. Have you ever encountered a situation where you meet an extremely nice salesperson? Even if you're rude to them and express a lack of interest, they'll still compliment you. They're doing all of this to drown out your resistance, and the next thing is that they'll scam you out of your living. A common example is Romeo's pimps, who seduce young women into sex trafficking by being overly nice to them. Or even loan sharks who are all smiles when offering you loans with high promises, but won't hesitate to set enforcers on you if you don't pay on time. With all these examples, if you now exhibit this kind of behavior, there's nothing to expect from people besides hatred. Although people look up to being perfect, a saint with no defect, it's impossible. Anger may be bad because you can commit an error under its influence. Still, being harmless is the worst. Number 5. You tend to ask many questions without talking about yourself. A study says that self-disclosure predicts closeness, and that must be mutual. People will dislike you if you don't reciprocate when they ask you questions back after you've asked them. While it's important to be interested in others, you mustn't interrogate them. There will always be a problem in a conversation or relationship when all of your questions are designed in such a way as to discover secrets and mistakes and share those discoveries with others. It's normal to ask questions, but you won't be liked if the pendulum goes too far. Number 6. Offering a weak handshake. Have you ever met someone for the first time, shook their hand, and it was extremely weak? I'm sure you'll feel pissed off. I'm not saying the hand should be grasped with an insane grip, but at least a substantial and cooperative handshake. It usually turns out that people who give weak handshakes are less likable than those who give firm handshakes. According to a University of Alabama research, it's found that people could predict the personalities of undergraduates they shook hands with. The raters specifically intuited that the students with firm handshakes were more positive, less socially anxious, and more outgoing than those with weak handshakes. Another study later published in the Journal of Applied Psychology found that in mock interviews, students who had a firmer handshake at the beginning of the interview were ultimately perceived as more hireable. Number 7. Not smiling. Many see smiling as an involuntary reply to things that bring you joy or cause laughter. While this is certainly true, it's more than that. You may be at a networking event and meet lots of new people. It can be hard to keep smiling, but endure it anyway because it'll make people like you more. Research shows that smiling has all kinds of beneficial effects. Ron Gutman, the founder and former CEO of HealthTap, says that smiling is the emotional equivalent of eating chocolate or getting free money. In another study, researchers showed participants smiling and unsmiling versions of computer-generated faces with varying levels of attractiveness. They expected that smiles would make faces more attractive, but they were surprised at how powerful that smile effect was. Less attractive faces with smiles were rated as high as attractive faces without smiles. Even if you smile when you first meet someone, there's a high probability that the person will remember you later. However, if you're the type that always frowns, you'll have more haters because first impressions last longer, and someone who sees you with a stern face will quickly decide that you're that kind of person. It's important to earn people's respect, but how will you earn it? You should first avoid getting disliked, and that's what we've discussed. All we've discussed is what you need to turn all the hatred to respect. Do you think that people judge you by the first impression, or is it the other way round? Let's know in the comments section. Kindly subscribe to our channel and click the notification bell to see more of our videos. Thanks.